So Deshaun Watson has been suspended by the NFL for at least 6 games, but it might be longer due to the appellate processes. But is it possible he still plays week 1 like Tom Brady and Zeke Elliot did by getting a preliminary injunction? Well, in order to get a preliminary injunction, a party must show a substantial likelihood of success on the merits and a substantial risk of harm that outweighs any kind of injury the injunction might cause to the other party or to any kind of public interest. Well, here, the likelihood of success on the merits would be regarding appealing an arbitration award, which the grounds for doing so are extremely narrow. Basically, you have to show that the arbiter was corrupt, evidentially partial, engaged in misconduct regarding evidence or scheduling, or exceeded his or her powers. Here, the NFLPA and Watson aren't appealing the 6-game suspension. They aren't appealing any of the underlying factual findings of Sue Robinson. So, in fact, if they are going to go ahead and get an injunction and try to appeal in federal court, they'd only be appealing any new suspension above 6 games. But this is part of the agreed-upon process in the CBA that was agreed upon in the new CBA just recently by the NFL and NFLPA. Then it comes down to substantial risk of harm, which typically a player in the NFL has a good argument, right? Their career span is short. Every time they're off the field, it affects their ability to make money on their next contract. And in Tom Brady and Zeke Elliott's case, there's a public image element of it, of being accused of being a cheater or a domestic abuser. And you're not going to have that with Deshaun Watson because he's accepting the factual findings of Sue Robinson. And she found that he committed SA and other infractions of the personal conduct policy, which is not the same case as the other 2 cases. He also just sat out a whole year, and it didn't affect anything. In fact, he got a full 5-year, fully guaranteed contract, $230 million. So, if anything, sitting out a year helped Deshaun Watson make a ton of money. And he's got 5 more years of that fully guaranteed contract to be able to show that he's a good player. He's also accepting the 6-game suspension. So no matter what, I really don't think he plays week 1. The earliest he can maybe get on the field is week 7, and I don't even think that happens. And then also there's that risk of injury to the NFL and a public interest, because do you really want a person who has been found to have committed SA on the field? And I just don't think the NFL or the public would want that. So in the end, if whatever the arbiter comes back with, if he comes back with 12 games or a year, I don't think a preliminary injunction will be granted.